Donald Trump is still referring to Zelensky not holding the cards. Not holding the cards. And of course, when we all saw what happened last time, Zelensky looked at him as if to say cards again. I dare you, say cards one more time. But here's the thing about Zelensky holding the cards. As we all know, when Ukraine split and the Soviet Republic split and Ukraine became its own separate country, they were promised that if Russia ever got froggy, that we would have their backs. And as that condition, they were told, they were basically agreed at that point to give up the nuclear weapons that they had in their territory. Now, again, if we don't defend Ukraine after making them that promise, guess what? No one will ever agree to that promise again. We won't be able to de-escalate to remove the amount of nuclear weapons from the planet. But here's the thing. Donald Trump, again, still says Zelensky doesn't hold the cards. Well, Zelensky doesn't hold the cards. We promised to provide the deck. We promised to provide the deck of cards and give it to Zelensky so he could hold the cards. And Donald Trump is keeping the deck from him because he's a deckhead, I guess. Or maybe Donald Trump's not playing with a full deck. I don't know. But we have a discussion of a potential 30-day peace deal or a ceasefire or what have you, where there's not going to be any minerals negotiated for this 30 days or whatever. There's I don't know if there's prisoner swaps yet or not in that whole deal, and we still have to have Russia sign off on it, even though Ukraine has signed off on it. But again, here's the deal, and it's what Zelensky was talking about when he was sitting in the White House, embarrassing Donald Trump. Because people have talked about, first, let's talk about that first. People have talked about in the news how you could possibly incentivize or entice the Soviets, the Russians, whatever. Putin's a Soviet. He's a ex-KGB, whatever. Probably still KGB. But, they suggest, well, maybe we entice Russia to the table by unfreezing the money of the Russian oligarchs. Maybe we end sanctions against Russia if they do what they're supposed to do. Maybe. But here's the thing with that and any other things you want to give to Russia. Give to Putin. If you give these things to Vladimir Putin, if you give these things to Russia without requiring conditions, without requiring ramifications for what they have done, the requirements to do reparations, if you don't require conditions on future actions to make sure that they're going to be harmed if they go back and renege on the deal, if, you don't have that, why would Putin ever be forced to uphold the ceasefire, to uphold the peace? He wouldn't. Because, he didn't do it before. Why would he do it again? Again, boy who cried wolf. Why would you believe that Vladimir Putin would uphold any peace deal, without any sort of real hard ramifications and real hard conditions on what will happen if they break it? There's no reason to do it. That's why Zelensky wanted to insist that there needs to be some extra teeth in any deal that's passed. But until that happens, and if Donald Trump does cave, which we know he will, and doesn't put any requirements on Russia because Ukraine doesn't have the cards or whatever, that'll just be him caving, him showing his weakness, Vladimir Putin gaining a whole bunch of strength, and for what? For nothing. Because there'll be no downside if he decides to change his mind. So, it's frankly stupid. And the Republicans and conservative MAGA types or whatever now want to say, whatever happened to the Democrats being the party of peace? Well, we are a party of peace. We absolutely want peace. We're not the ones saying that we should go raise Gaza. We should flatten Gaza and redevelop it, move violently probably all of the people living in Gaza so they can become a resort area on the Mediterranean. We're not the ones who want that. We just know that if you give Putin everything he wants without making him take a deal, making him compromise, if you don't require conditions on getting peace and keeping the peace, you're just going to tell everybody that they can just walk all over us, that Trump's not going to do anything. Period. What do you think? Agree, disagree? Leave your comments down below. Remember to like the video, share, subscribe to the channel. And of course, unless you're a Nazi or a Putin apologist, have a good day.